Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. My name is John Bowman. I will be your instructor for English 111 this semester. The purpose of this video is to give you a brief overview of the course content and to get you started on the first assignments in the class. Every single week I will release a new update. The update will occur on Wednesdays at 5 p.m., so look for that in your email inbox. It will contain important information on the course and the assignments that are ahead for you. Just exactly like this one will right now. So make sure that you pay attention to those, make sure that you do follow along with that information because that is essential to your success. Let's jump straight into the course because I want to make this video as useful as possible. Because of the nature of the class, let's just start with the syllabus. That's always a great location to begin. The syllabus is going to contain all the contact information for me as the instructor. So you have here my email address, you have the phone number that ties into my office. You can call that phone number 24/7 and just leave a message. Obviously, I'm not going to answer it in the middle of the night, but knock yourselves out. You can call it as much as you want to, any time of the day. It's just I'll return your call as soon as I can or get back to you as soon as I can. Also, this is my cell phone, and my cell phone number is 980-621-3115. I've been giving that number out for as long as I've been teaching, which is approximately 10 years, a little bit more than 10 years actually, and I haven't had a problem with it yet. If I ever do have a problem with it, I will just simply block the number and report it to the college. But use that number for texting during reasonable hours, which I would count as something like 8 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m., 7 days a week. I don't mind. You can text me. If I don't get back to you right away, have some patience. It might not be until the next day. For example, if I'm in a movie, I'm not leaving the movie to text you back. If I'm at an event, I'm not going to stop my enjoyment of that event to text you back. So use it, for short questions. Don't ever call that number. I will not answer. I will simply block the number because I just make a habit of blocking numbers I don't know because I always assume that they're scams. So just, use it within those parameters and just use it for quick questions. It's there for your benefit. Okay, there's no textbook required in this class. We want to make sure as a department, as the English department, that your cost for this class is as low as possible. I'm not going to read the rest of this to you, but I do want to touch on some important points here. The course policies, right here, I've been putting this in my syllabus since day one of me teaching, which is I will treat you like an adult. That means that as an adult, I assume that you know that if you don't hand in something in the class, it's a 0. If you don't contact me, that you just expect to get a 0, because you should be treating this like you would a job. If you don't show up for a job, you get fired. You don't get paid, and you do not have a job in the future. If you do not do work in this class, I'm not going to chase after you. You're an adult. You made that choice yourself, but the consequence of that choice is that you get a 0, and if you don't participate long enough, then I am required by the college to drop you from the course. So again, you want to regularly participate. I would recommend logging it at least twice a week and keep track of your due dates in the course. Scrolling down a little bit more, the attendance, again, I just mentioned that. Make sure you're regularly attending. Late work, my policy is the same in all classes. If you've ever had a class with me before, you should be familiar with it. All of my work in the class is due on Thursdays at 5 p.m. I'll talk about that more in a minute. But if it's late, I deduct 10 points per 24-hour period that it's late, and I do not ever accept work that's more than 5 days late. It's not worth my time, and it's not worth your time. So plan accordingly. Make sure that you do follow those guidelines. I try to respond as quickly as possible to assignments. So if you hand in something, I will try to grade it right away. If you don't want me to grade it right away, you need to email me and let me know that. Because otherwise, the minute you hand it in, it's fair game for me. So I don't wait until the due date to grade. I grade it as soon as I see it, oftentimes within an hour or two. When we get toward the due date, I usually have a lot of people handing things in, so it could take a little bit longer, but usually 24 to 36 hours, I have everything graded close to the due date. Communication, I try to respond as quickly as I can. It's a reasonable communication. If you're texting me at 2 a.m., I'm not responding, and I'm probably not responding the next day because I've just told you a second ago not to do that. So, don't do that. Respect those boundaries and use the communication that I provided you, and everything will go very well in the class. Okay, so grades right there. That's how you're going to be graded. Those are the weights. The presentation I'm going to take off. I just realized that shouldn't be on there. Scrolling down just slightly, again, the rest of this you can look at yourselves, but there's your course guide down here at the very bottom. Now, I do set everything in the course to be due on Thursdays at 5 p.m. The reason is because I'm still conscious at that time. So if you have an emergency or a question at the very last minute, I can help with that, right? I will be awake and I can help you with that. If I have it due at midnight, like some other instructors, I'm not awake and I'm not getting out of the bed and I'm not staying up late to do it. So this is for your benefit. If you don't want things to be due at 5 p.m., then my suggestion would be to just pretend that the due date is at midnight on Wednesday night and that you have a grace period until 5 p.m. the next day. That conceptualization helps a lot of students that tend to get stuck on this due date being 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So, okay, there's that. Let's look at the course. When you first log in, you need to do the introductory forum. That's going to give you access to everything else in the entire course. You also need to do the plagiarism quiz. This is a 14-week class, so the beginning of it's kind of a bit of a scramble. You're going to have a quick succession of things to get done, but they're fairly straightforward things, and you have 4 days to get them done. So again, introductory forum, plagiarism quiz. You'll need to do the knowledge check. All the knowledge checks in the class are based on the reading, and the reading is always going to be found under the overview. So you can see every single module is organized the same way. You have your reading, and then you have your assignments tied to that. Again, knowledge check is going to be based on that reading. The written assignments themselves are going to be everything but the knowledge check in the class. So scrolling back up, all the odd-numbered modules are going to be assignments that lead up to the even-numbered modules. And all the even-numbered modules are going to contain essays. There are a total of 8 modules in the course, so you have 4 major papers in the entire course. And again, there's that sort of recursive step, which means sort of repetitious step. You're going to hand something in to me, I'm going to give you some feedback. You're going to use that feedback to improve your work, and then we're going to do that a couple times before you get to the essay itself. So we'll do that over and over, and again in the course. That's what the course is all about. Early on, then the very first thing that you have due on the 31st is the brainstorming activity. That's your first written assignment, apart from the plagiarism quiz, which you can take multiple times. It just says, do you understand plagiarism? If so, do you understand you'll get a 0 for it? So just take that, knock that out of the way. Knowledge check, you get 3 tries at. But the brainstorming activity, when you come in here, there's a brief explanation in the video. You're going to create a bubble map or a mind map, however you want to call that, and you're going to submit it. You need to take a screenshot of it. Do not submit a digital file. So when you click on this, it actually carries you directly into our module, and there's some software that's listed down here at the bottom, right there. If you save the file from this particular web page, I can't open that file. And so because I can't open that file, that means that I can't access your assignment. So therefore, please take a picture of it. Okay, make sure you pay attention to the rubric at the bottom. That's how I will grade you. And then right there, sample completed assignment. See this? And that gives you a blank one, and then it gives you one that's been filled in. Now, what is your topic for this? Well, as I just explained a second ago, all the assignments in the odd-numbered modules lead to the assignments in the even-numbered modules. That means that this bubble map is going to be a bubble map for your first essay in the class. Your first essay in the class, right here, 2.3, is going to be about a difficult time that you faced in a workplace, at school, or in a social situation, and how you learned and grew from it. So your focus, your purpose, is to convince your audience, which would be something like a hiring committee, that you grew in a difficult situation. This is a pretty common prompt in an interview situation, and that's why we assign it, because not only do you get to practice composition, but you also get to practice doing well in a job interview situation. So that's what that's all about. So go in to the assignment. This would be my recommendation. Review that. Review the requirements, which we'll be talking about over the next couple of weeks. Look at the sample essay that's contained down here at the bottom, so you get a sense of what the essay should look like. And then go back and compare this essay to the bubble map that I just showed you a second ago, because the bubble map does map directly into this essay, so you can see how one thing changes into the other thing. You've probably been doing bubble maps since middle school and high school, so you should feel pretty comfortable with this. That's taking a lot of load, so I'm going to skip past that in favor of concentrating on other things. What you need to be focusing on as you go forward is right here. High school essays require 5 paragraphs. We require at least 6 paragraphs in every single essay in this class. You have to have at least 3 full pages when you get to that, and a full page counts about 3/4 of the way down to 3rd page. It needs to be in MLA format, which is contained inside the module, so make sure you review that. And yes, it should be in first person because it's impossible for you to tell your story without being in first person. So make sure that you review that, make sure you understand the purpose of this, and then get in there and get started, because again, this is a 14-week section, so we're going to have to jump in fairly quickly, and then the pace will settle in and you should be fine. This first week is going to be a little bit rough, but again, past this first week, everything should settle down for you a bit. Okay, we're at the end of the video. I try to keep these fairly short so that way I can concentrate just on the things that you need. I've covered the syllabus, I've covered the assignments. A couple quick things though at the end. Please reach out to me. I pride myself on working with students every semester. If you have an issue and you need help, I'm here. I want to help. I want you to succeed in this class, but I can only help you if you help me to understand what you need. So that means I've just given you all these ways to contact me. I need you to actually use those ways to get in touch with me so that we can talk, so that we can work together to get you through the course and through the course content. But again, that only works with communication. I'm a regular person as well. I am here. I want to help you. But given the background that I have, I can use that background in order to help to elevate you through the entire course. Since you're all introducing yourselves, I also like to do this at the end of the video so that way we don't get lost in the beginning. Again, my name is John Bowman. I've been teaching for over 10 years. I've been teaching English for that period of time. I also teach Southern culture. I teach literature. My background is in linguistics. I focus a lot of on language, and I like to talk about language quite a bit. I'm also an avid runner and gamer. So if you introduce yourselves, tell me your favorite game. Right now, I am working through The Outer Worlds. So I went back to that after a while because I like RPGs. Haven't got the Baldur's Gate yet. I will at some point. Okay, I will again post another update. It will come Wednesday of this week at 5 p.m. and I'll see you then.